Well, that was a really great way to quiet the room. Wasn't that fun to watch that video and fly over and see, hear our bell ring? Thank you all so much for being here today. I'm Heather Garnett. I'm the Director of Alumni and Alumni here at the school. I'm back. Yay! Thank you. And I'm very excited to welcome all of you into the room with us today, as well as those of you who are watching us online. I want to apologize to everybody who lives in Wright. I understand last night at 12:37, somebody on the 5th. Oh, it was West. Okay, I'll apologize to you guys too. But I do feel better. So in West, in room 503, apparently the smoke alarm went off. And when that happened, of course, the bells rang, and I laughed and I said, well, I bet everyone was outside with their towels and their hard sole shoes. So it is such a privilege and honor today to be able to welcome you all, to welcome special classes in reunion, but also, most importantly, to welcome our recipients of the Achievement Award today. And so Jinx Broaddus Patel, 58, and all of her classmates, and Judith Stanton, 68, and all of her classmates, and we're really very happy to have you. And President Sue Ott Rowlands is going to come up here and, did I say that backwards? Yeah. Sorry. As I said it, I thought, I think I did that. I'm sorry, everybody. That would be Sue Ott Rowlands. And she is going to come up and give you an update on the school and the program. Thank you.
What a marvelous group gathered today. I'm Sue Ott Rowlands, and I'm happy to welcome all of you here today. So this is obviously my first reunion at Randolph College, and I'm enjoying getting to know all of our alums and hearing about your memories of Randolph-Macon Women's College and Randolph College. I want to just say a personal note here. You know, I've been here almost a year, and that year has been filled with activities and memory building of Randolph College. But I have read everything I can get my hands on in terms of the history of the college. And now, having all of you here, it's a very special time for me, because I listen to your stories and I see the love that you have for the college, and everything I've read about really has come to life in the last couple of days, so thank you. Now, if you've been on campus recently, you know that our college is filled with talented, energetic, creative, and vibrant students, faculty, and staff who make all of our work worthwhile. While we have our challenges, as most small liberal arts colleges do, I can assure you that we remain as strong and as committed not only to our liberal arts foundation, but to ensuring that this wonderful place is here for generations to come. We've come a long way, and thanks to strong leadership from our board members and the dedication of our community members, we're confident. And I know that Randolph is positioned for a fabulous future. So it's been an exciting year here. We welcomed a great incoming class. These students, our first-year students this past year, were a particularly wonderful group of students, very invested, very engaged in the life of the college. And it's just been a great time with them. We also completed the second full year of our curricular model, the Take Two model, and we've been able to announce several new academic and athletic programs. We're growing, and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that Randolph is positioned to thrive. Now, while we still have the summer to get through, we're particularly optimistic about our enrollment numbers for the fall. So far, this is very exciting, we have exceeded where we were this time last year by quite a bit. Last year, we had 149 deposits at this point. This year, we're sitting right now at 197 deposits. And we're going to hit 200, I know it. Our transfer students remain on par with about 19 right now, but our goal over the next 2 years is to build that number to 60 transfer students each year coming in. Another really nice thing is that our GPA has increased for our incoming class as well. And our admission staff will work diligently throughout the summer to make sure we don't have a lot of summer melt. And so we do anticipate welcoming upwards of 180 to 190 new students in the fall. Somebody asked me what our current enrollment is, actually. This past year, we were at 553, and about 60 of those, maybe 70, were graduate students, so the rest were undergraduate. That's a very small number for Randolph, and we need to get that number up. Our goal is to get to 800 to 900 students in the next 3 years. So one of the ways that we're going to do that is by the addition of new programs. And so we have added 6 new majors and a new honors program, a master's degree in museum studies, and a low residency Master of Fine Arts in theater begins this summer. We also have an online low residency Master of Arts in Teaching program. We announced the addition of 2 new sports to start the fall of 2024. Women's stunt, yeah. That's a thing, yeah. So it's a competitive team, head-to-head competition that combines gymnastics and cheerleading, but it's only for women. And men's volleyball, which is also a thing, yeah. So we really believe that these new programs and athletic programs will help us grow to meet our goals. So take 2, the curricular model. We've now finished our 2nd year, and it's going really well. When I talk to incoming students, a lot of the times they'll tell me the reason they're looking at Randolph is because of the Take 2 curricular model. Faculty learned a lot about how to structure their courses in the first 2 years, and now things are going very smoothly. I think that students have gotten used to the new format, and they seem to be adjusting well. And in fact, I'm so pleased to tell you that the number of students on the dean's list is higher than it has been in more than 10 years. Yeah. So it's amazing to watch how this innovative approach to teaching is transforming the college experience for our students. You know, people ask me, why did you come to Randolph? And one of the things I tell them is that when I was looking at the college online and trying to learn as much as I could about it, I noticed the Take 2 curricular model, and I noticed that it was designed and implemented entirely by the faculty. It was not an administrative heavy downward mandate. And I thought that was the most creative, innovative thing I had seen in a long time, and I wanted to be a part of that. In terms of facilities, we continue to make numerous improvements on campus. One of the biggest is the renovation of the Athletics Center, which was completed last year. And that facility is wonderful. It's very state-of-the-art, and it's highly used by our students. A very exciting process that we're in right now is the renovation of Martin Science Building. Yeah, how many of you took classes in Martin Science? Yeah, you lived in Martin, yeah. Yeah, it probably looks about the same as it did when you were here. But we're determined to upgrade it, update it, make it a real state-of-the-art learning environment. The initiative was paused by the pandemic, but now we're back on track. We're going to complete the schematic designs by the end of this calendar year, and we are going to break ground, and then we are going to open this facility in the fall of 2025. Now, listen up. While we have completed some of our fundraising, we will be continuing to expand those efforts in the coming year. I'm also proud to say that we're utilizing the President's House, which we are now calling Randolph House. And we're utilizing it more and more for events and activities, and we're committed to maintaining and improving this beautiful space. I have the privilege of living there, but I consider this absolutely Randolph's house. I look forward to welcoming you to the house this afternoon when we have our donor recognition open house. In terms of the environment on campus, this year I challenged our community to create a student-ready campus. We sometimes focus too much on whether our students are college-ready. And it's my opinion that we need to be student-ready so that we can meet them wherever they are. In a student-ready campus, every individual embraces their roles as teachers, mentors, and leaders. The idea is that we can't simply look to the faculty to be teachers or to the administration to be leaders, but we all play all of those roles. So I think that the campus community embraced this challenge this past year. We're looking forward to next year, and we hope to expand the idea. One of the ways this idea is so important to us and the way we execute it is critical to our success is that it factors heavily into our ability to retain the students we recruit. So it's one thing to get them here, but a student-ready campus gives us the best possibility to retain them. Our retention rate for first to second year students last fall was 67%. Not very good. I set the goal that this fall it would be 75%. Right now, anecdotally, I'm told that we're at 74%. So that's good. Now, if you came to inauguration, you probably heard me talking about something I call the Randolph Promise. The Randolph Promise is a commitment to being a place where students will find a close-knit community that welcomes their unique perspectives. The Randolph Promise is a commitment to academic excellence, career empowerment, and community engagement. There's so much about Randolph that makes us special, and even though times have changed and the landscape of higher education is different, the heart of this college remains very much as it is when you were here. At Randolph, we prepare students for life today and for life tomorrow, and we're committed to offering our students transformational experiences. We're not limited to an old model of liberal arts education. We're not stuck on doing something because it's always been done that way. Instead, you'll find us offering programs that speak to the needs of today's youth, today's workforce needs, and to the global world we live in. Our faculty and staff have embraced innovation, and we're working hard to ensure that we're providing exactly what our students need to be successful when they graduate. Now, the women we are honoring today are a perfect example of the impact of a Randolph education. Though higher education has changed dramatically since William Wass Smith first opened the doors of this great institution so many years ago, the same commitment to the liberal arts and to empowering students to embody the abundant life remains. To me, a life more abundant means living life to the fullest, whether that is in the workplace, at home, or wherever we find ourselves. It's using our talent, our intellect, and our innovative spirit to seek out life, meet it head on, take everything it has to offer. The life more abundant means not waiting for life to come to you, but catching hold of every moment and filling it with curiosity, energy, and wonderment. Each of you is an example of Vita Abundantior in action. And I thank you all for all that you do for the college, for its students, and for one another. We couldn't do this without you. I'm so glad to welcome you home to your alma mater for reunion. Now, before we proceed with the Alumni Achievement Awards portion of this program, I'd like to take a moment to express our deep appreciation for the generous support reunion alumni have provided to the college this year. I would like to start by thanking a very special group of our college's donors, the members of the Ivy Society. The Ivy Society honors individuals who have given to Randolph College for 5 or more consecutive years, and the sustained and loyal generosity of this group of donors enhances every aspect of the campus experience. Each year, more than half of all Randolph College's donors are members of the Ivy Society, and this year, 187 of them are celebrating their reunion. You can clap for that. That's pretty cool. Thank you for your steadfast support. Now, the Quillian Society is another remarkable group of Randolph College supporters. Named for President William F. Quillian, Jr., the college's 5th and longest-serving president, it honors those individuals who have included Randolph in their estate plans. We're grateful to these donors for their vision in ensuring that their legacy lives on to benefit future generations of Randolph students. There are 54 reunion alumni who are members of the Quillian Society, and we thank you as well. I would now like to recognize the class with the highest reunion class gift participation. I wonder who that is. 75 classmates from the class of 1968 have given to the annual fund in honor of their 55th reunion. This represents more than 41% of their class, and they contributed a total of over $135,000. Thank you. Recognition for the largest reunion class gift goes to 1973. They raised $242,307 in honor of their 50th reunion. In May, all reunion classes participated in the Reunion Class Gift Challenge. It's my pleasure to recognize the class of 1973 with the greatest participation during this challenge. And the evens narrowly edged out the odds for participation. Although the odds bested the evens in the total amount given. I'd also like to recognize the total impact of reunion alumni giving. Giving by all reunion alumni to the annual fund is $674,000, and total reunion giving to benefit all funds at the college in 2022-23 is $800,000. Finally, I have a special message for all of you from a member of the class of 1943. It comes from our oldest living alumni in a reunion class who has made a class gift every year for as far back as we have records, including this year. She is Marjorie Branner Adams. And while she couldn't be here today, Marjorie, at the age of 101, joins us in spirit as she celebrates her 80th reunion from her home in Richmond, Virginia. Marjorie majored in music and graduated in the same year that the college marked the 50th anniversary of its opening. She participated in many activities during her time behind the red brick wall, including Glee Club, Sock and Buskin, and the Student Government Association. Marjorie sends this message to all of you today. The years I spent at Randolph-Macon mean the world to me. I am so thankful to have had such a wonderful education, and it is my pleasure and privilege to continue to support the place that has given me so much. Happy reunion to you all. Aww. I spoke with Marjorie on the phone the other day to congratulate her, and she is a sweetheart. She's amazing. We appreciate Marjorie's inspiration as we reflect on what the college has meant to us over the years, and what a privilege it is to give back to future generations. Vita abundantior, Marjorie. Good. Now, to our honorees, college alumni, and guests, we are truly thankful you're joining us for the 2023 Alumni Achievement Award ceremony. Thank you for helping us celebrate the accomplishments of two magnificent alumni. The Alumni Achievement Award is the highest award our alumni can receive from the college. Since 1981, the college has presented this award to graduates who personify the value of a liberal arts education and have brought distinction to themselves and to the college. Nominations for the awards come from alumni and alumni, and the recipients are selected by a committee composed of faculty, staff, and alumni. Today's Alumni Achievement Award recipients join an impressive group of graduates, including judges, senators, pilots, medical professionals, educators, ministers, TV journalists, environmentalists, and civil and human rights advocates. Innovation and entrepreneurship, intellect, grace, and courage in the face of challenges. Each of our Alumni Achievement Award recipients has personified the value of a liberal arts education and has brought honor upon themselves and their college through their outstanding accomplishments. I'm proud to recognize our 2023 Alumni Achievement Award recipients. Virginia Jinx Broaddus Patel, class of 1958. And Judith Phillips Stanton, class of 1968. Join me now as we take a look at the amazing life journeys of these exceptional women. Their fulfilling lives beyond the red brick wall include family, education, career, and community service. Our recipients today exemplify the true power of a liberal arts education.
For Virginia Jinx Broaddus Patel, class of 58, it was her first visit to campus that helped to solidify her choice to attend Randolph-Macon Women's College.
I was impressed with the grounds, the campus at that time. Now, I liked the fact that Randolph-Macon was brick, and it impressed me. It was lovely. That's part of the reason I chose it, and I knew I wanted to go to college. So I don't think I even applied anywhere else, frankly.
Initially planning to major in art, Jinx soon discovered that her passion lay in the sciences.
I loved my art class. Dr. Tweary was my instructor. I loved liberal arts, but I found that it was more subjective, whereas science can be more objective. So I took human anatomy and physiology because my dad was a general surgeon, and I loved it. And so then I just majored in science. Dr. Walker, who headed up the biology department, and he probably gave me the best advice. And I found I really love science, and when you graduate with a liberal arts degree, you want to know what you can do. And I thought I would like to continue going to school, and I applied to Washington University with the idea of getting a master's degree. But after I got in school, I decided to go for a PhD.
It was at Washington University where Jinx not only met her husband, Gordon Patel, but developed her love for embryology and earned her PhD. After working as a research associate at the University of New York, Patel became the founding research director for Athens Research and Technology, a biotech company located in Athens.
And it's now over 35 years and very successful. So I'm very proud of that. The company has always had between 15 and 30 employees. Last year in Georgia, the state government gave us an award, and it was the global exporter for our size company. So we've had a stock of highly pure human and very active, if you're working with an enzyme, proteins that we have shipped that are used for research and looking at different diseases in clinical use on the diagnostic test. The Athens Area Chamber of Commerce voted us as the small business of 2022. I'm very proud of it.
Jinx's dedication to her work and passion for science led to her serving as the principal investigator on more than 50 contract research projects funded by both for-profit and nonprofit entities. She has made a significant impact on the field of biomedical research, and her success can be traced back to the strong foundation she received at Randolph-Macon Women's College.
I learned so much at Randolph-Macon. That's really where I grew up and became truly an adult, I think, and then could go to graduate school and be successful. But those were my years, really formative years for me growing up and being away from family and protected.
Jinx's time at Randolph-Macon Women's College not only ignited her passion for science, but also instilled in her the importance of balancing work and family life. She has been able to balance her career with raising a family and volunteering in her community as an active member on countless boards and committees for many nonprofit organizations.
I have always loved people, and I feel like I want everybody to be successful and have a good life. And I think a liberal education kind of goes along with that because it causes you keep an open mind to new things. And I wish that more people would get more of a liberal arts education, and I hope that it continues.
Amidst all of her accomplishments, there is one which she holds as her greatest.
My greatest accomplishment, because family is so important to me, is that the two children, the two girls that my husband and I reared, Elizabeth and Krishna. Family is most important, and I feel that the fact that our two girls are so successful, that is my greatest accomplishment. I think I was smart to continue school after getting my degree from Randolph-Macon, and that enabled me to have good jobs, interesting jobs, and yet still be devoted to my family.
Jinx's success is a testament to the foundation she received at Randolph-Macon Women's College. The college's commitment to providing a well-rounded education, fostering a love for learning, and encouraging students to pursue their passions has helped countless alumni achieve success in their respective fields.
I value my education from Randolph-Macon, now Randolph College. I'm very proud to have graduated from there.
Jinx, will you please join me at the podium for some remarks?
Thank you. Thank you. You're all so sweet. Thank you. Thank you all so much. I am so honored and so grateful to receive this award. And first, of course, I want to do my thank yous because President Sue Ott Rowlands was the one, I think, that makes the final decision. And then also the committee that has to read all of the applications. And most importantly to me also, I received my 2 nominations from Randolph graduates in 1962. And I'm thanking them. It was Carolyn Holly and Jerry Gray. So, and of course, I want to thank my family, my 2 daughters, my son-in-law, and my 2 granddaughters, and of course, especially my husband. And I'm thanking him because he's been my best friend. He has always encouraged me and supported me in whatever I wanted to do. And so I truly appreciate that. So thank you, sweetheart. And then I have my wonderful classmates that I want to thank for being such good friends and supporting me too. I'm very pleased because I am the 3rd awardee for this Achievement Award. The first one was Suzanne Somerville, and the second one was, of course, our beloved Renee Steves. And I want to tell everybody, we are a special class, of course. And one of the reasons is that we were the ones that founded the Skeller. And the credit goes to mainly to Lucy Stansberry, but it was also, she was enrolled in Carl Stern's economic class. And they came up with this idea, and there were more students involved in that, but they even sold chairs. But Lucy also did all of the cartoon drawings on the wall at that time. And so I know a lot of you might remember that. But it's wonderful, really. But anyway, thank you all.
Now, don't go away. Jinx.
Okay.
Having grown up on a tobacco farm in North Carolina, Judith Phillips Stanton, class of '68, was initially drawn to Randolph-Macon Women's College for the opportunity it offered her.
I didn't really know what I had gotten into. I didn't know what a good school it would be because I didn't know what made a good school. It was interesting to me coming in as a farm girl, basically. It was interesting to me how well everybody accepted me and nobody cared about that. I mean, I had friends and roommates and colleagues, and I was accepted. That was really important. And of course the professors accepted me. I don't know if they knew my background or cared or needed to know. I don't know who knew, but it meant the world to me that it was such an accepting environment.
At Randolph-Macon Women's College, Stanton found herself exploring interests that drew her away from her intended major in French, and it was with the help of her professor, Dr. Edwin St. Vincent, that she began to explore depths of English literature that would ultimately guide her on a 26-year journey.
I was such a reader to begin with, and I knew I loved fiction, but he opened up the world of fiction from the earliest novels all the way through into the 20th century. I know I had 2 semesters worth of the English novel with him. One of the interesting things that he did, he says, now I need to warn you how hard it is to get through this course, because you'll be reading one big fat novel a week. You can't wait until the last minute to read that novel. You have to read it a chapter or 2 every chance you get, so that you do several chapters a day or you won't finish them. I finished everything. I took other courses in American novel, but I guess in the same way that I wanted to get out of North Carolina, so I ended up in Virginia. I wanted to get out of America, so I ended up in Britain. And it just suited my imagination to travel in stories.
Her English professors encouraged her to go on to graduate school, which led her to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where she earned her Ph.D. Stanton then went on to teach for 4 years in Wisconsin before moving on to Clemson University. She was a leader in establishing minor curricula in gender studies and technical and scientific writing, but it was an introduction that took place at RMWC that ultimately led her to her greatest life accomplishment.
I was first introduced to Charlotte Smith in a class at Randolph-Macon with Dr. St. Vincent at the English novel class, and she was mentioned in our history of the novel as the best unrecognized author of her time. So when I had a chance to write about someone in a seminar in graduate school, I picked her, because I knew she was going to be the best. And I never deviated from that. I did a dissertation on her, and at the end of my dissertation orals, they asked me, so what are you going to do next? And I said, well, a biography of Charlotte Smith is needed, but you couldn't do a biography of her until you get your hands on all the letters. So I'm going to start by collecting the letters. Little did I know, 25 years and 400 letters later, they would finally get published. But it was a wonderful, wonderful journey. As I like to say, poor me, for doing all my research, I had to go to England about a dozen times. That was suffering of the highest order. But I became just deeply embedded in her life, and it influenced mine as it inevitably would have to.
It was through her dedicated work that Stanton was able to resurrect the work and life of Charlotte Smith, bringing new life to a forgotten voice in English literature.
The letters revealed the life of a woman novelist and poet who had influenced major romantic authors, but was not recognized as one and was not being taught. She was not what they call canonized. Canonized means they show up in anthologies and they're taught in all the basic courses. She was not. So the whole feminist scholarly project resurrected her, and only one person needed to do the letters, and there's only one version of the letters. But the letters are the foundation or underpinnings for all kinds of now even more legitimate scholarship on her, on analyses of her novels. A couple of biographies have been done. She's in anthologies now, and all of her books are in print. Many of them have been produced in paperback textbook form so that she can be taught in classes.
In addition to her work on the Smith letters, Stanton's own writing has flourished, having published 4 historical romance novels, each one inspired by the stories and characters she had encountered during her research. She has also authored a contemporary equestrian suspense novel and even published her first book of poetry. Now retired, Stanton continues to teach creative writing courses for fun, sharing her knowledge and expertise with aspiring writers. Her legacy lives on in the countless readers and scholars who have been inspired by her work on Charlotte Smith, a poet and novelist who might have been forgotten were it not for Stanton's dedication and hard work and the inspiration she received from RMWC.
It means a great deal because the college was my springboard, in socially and intellectually and academically, and so I'm eternally grateful for the opportunity.
Judith, will you please join me at the podium for some remarks?
Good morning. When our new president, Sue Ott Rowlands, called to tell me that Randolph College would bestow this award on me, I said, I've got chills. I'm thrilled, and I still am. I have to be grateful to so many people, starting with my friends in our class of '68, Betty Booker Fultz, and Ann Brill and Rebecca Crossan, who nominated me for this award. You also reminded me I need to say thank you to my husband, who is not here. He's doing what he always does when I travel. He stays home and takes care of the cats. I could not have done this without his extraordinary support over so many years, particularly once I became an independent scholar. He was always there. Also, computer backup, critical. I did realize over the 25 years it took me to collect and annotate all these letters that nobody would ever redo my edition. So it had to be correct down to the last footnote, word, punctuation mark. But I also finally realized that my edition of Smith's letters would be foundational in restoring her reputation. Not the only thing restoring her reputation, but there was a point where I went, got to get this right, because nobody's going to write about Charlotte Smith again without referring to this edition. I'm proud and grateful to have contributed to the project of getting her to be considered the first romantic poet. And I am deeply, as I said in the video, deeply indebted to professors at Randolph-Macon Women's College. Dr. St. Vincent's demanding novel courses opened up that world to me, and also introduced me to Mrs. Smith. Second, Dr. John Kirby, whose Shakespeare courses were illuminating and sometimes delightfully risque, also diligently advised and directed me to find just the right graduate school at UNC Chapel Hill, where I was able to begin my work on Charlotte Smith, never knowing it would take the rest of my life. So I am proud to accept this award, not just for myself, but really for Charlotte Smith. And also for my friends in our amazing class of 1968. I am learning more and more about what diverse, inventive, and productive lives y'all all have lived. And what a journey we are still on. Thank you.
Oh, this is you. Oh, sorry. Now, Heather.
So, wasn't that wonderful? It was such a delight to hear from you all. I love the way we're doing the presentations now, so you get to hear all their background, hear their own words. It's really lovely. So thank you both for letting us have this opportunity to showcase you and all the things you've done for the school. When our president was talking earlier about admissions and outreach, this is not scripted, by the way, I thought, you know, we haven't done a request yet. We always ask you guys for money, but I don't think this weekend we have yet said, you need to send us students. So please, if you can, stop by the main hall admissions desk, look at our materials, learn more about Take Two, and then share that excitement with some of our some young students who could really benefit from an education here. We would be very grateful. It's also online, in case you can't find it at the desk in main hall, but it should be there. I wanted to let you know what we'll be doing next. We're going to head out into the Sundial Trust Plaza, and we'll have a champagne toast to our recipients. And then after that, we'll head to the dining hall. And for those of you who want to mingle a little while before you head in, it will prevent us from having lines. So I would suggest that you enjoy your time out there and head into, as you know, in classes and groups. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend.